What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here, and I am talking to another contestant going into the Ascendance Live Season 3 house, Mr. Adam. What is up? How are you? What's going on?
I'm good, man. Just this point in my life, Airbnb hopping. Just went through a hurricane situation, so I am just trying to figure out life at this point. So I'm very grateful for games like this. Keeps my mind out of the gutter and gets me focused and distracted on something I enjoy, as I'm dealing with a lot of things that I currently do not enjoy.
Well, speaking of things that you enjoy, that lines up my first question perfectly for you. It's
All
kind
right.
of a real open-ended one to get the people knowing a little bit more about you, Adam, and that is to describe your perfect day. What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? Where are you?
Perfect day just in life, nothing game related.
Perfect day in general. It could be anything.
Oh man. Perfect day in general. Well, I mean, I I was really enjoying my daily routine that I would have before all the hurricane shit, where I would just kind of like wake up in the morning. The first thing I do is jump in the pool like 8 a.m. Fucking that wakes me right up. Can't beat the Florida weather, so just like sit in the sun for an hour or so, and usually go to work. But if this was a perfect day, I would not have work, so I would just be drinking some beers, playing some hockey on PlayStation 4 because I haven't gotten a PlayStation 5 yet. Um, Obviously, having sex and having dinner with my girlfriend, and then maybe like going to a hockey game at nighttime if we can't afford to like take a quick trip to the Bahamas, because that is literally my favorite place on earth. So if I could like afford that perfect day, then I'd just like go to Atlantis in the Bahamas. That's always been my shit. And maybe meet an alien before midnight to end my perfect day.
That'd be kind of crazy. All right, so let's jump into some game related questions here. If
Okay.
you have watched any of Ascendance Live prior, I want you to say who from a past season you would want to see in this season and potentially work with.
Oh, definitely Erica. She was my favorite player that first season. No shade to Mark or Edmund, good friends of mine. But like when I was watching that season play out, I was like, Erica would be the person that I would work with. I would just, latch on to her game and, just try and be that like cute, sweet, quiet person alongside with her that is just like generally liked by everybody, I think. So she would absolutely be someone that I would work with. Um, as far as season 2 goes, I haven't watched like more than half. But when the cast was revealed, I'm like Eric Broden, favorite character. He would be someone that I would definitely cling to. I think we'd play like similar games and stuff. Obviously, it didn't work for him. It didn't seem like, but I think if he was working with me, his game would have went a lot better.
Say your number one ally in the game is in trouble early of being eliminated. Are you going to step in and try to flip the vote, or are you going to let them be eliminated?
I operate on a lot of number ones. I feel like that's the only way to truly succeed. So I would have at least 4 other backup plans. And if there was nothing I could do to save them, then I would have to let them go. Just what I've learned from playing a lot of live games is like you can't have everything you want, and you have to make it seem like that's what you wanted if something bad happens, just to kind of save face. So yeah, if it was something that's going to get me in trouble in the next immediate round, then I can't exactly go out on a limb and pull a hero card unless it's deep in the game. If it's early in the game, they gotta go. If it's deep in the game, then I do some fucked up shit to save them.
What is a challenge that you would dominate at?
Challenge I would dominate at. I love like party games, any kind of like flip cup, beer pong. I just learned I'm really good at fucking pool challenges. So if it's in the water, like I'm way faster in water than I am on land. I just learned that recently. So that's good. Like diving to the bottom of the pool and grabbing a bunch of shit. I love that stuff. I've always been good at endurance comps. There's typically like some like skinny or like jacked dude that does better than me, but in history, over average. I usually place pretty well in that shit, if not win. So yeah, those are my favorite kind of comps. I hate trivia and puzzles. Memory comps, unless it's something we can like learn on the spot, like watch this and then memorize shit. I can be good at stuff like that. If it's like, hey, what happened like fucking 4 days ago, then I'm like, ugh, scraping the memory warehouse floors to try and remember.
Okay. So sleep is a huge factor in Ascendance Live.
Mhm.
How many hours can you efficiently operate on?
Um, I am so thankful to have just come out of Mayhem Mana, and I learned that I can operate on 3 to 4 hours of sleep each night. I got 10 hours of sleep throughout that game that lasted 3 days. So yeah, I'm good with staying up, talking to people, keeping the party going. I'm always trying to like be the one that is like engaging people and doing fun things. Like let's all get together. Let's all fucking go down the water slide. Let's all like jump in the pool. Let's fucking like play some games, things like that. Because that's the way you like get to know people and see what kind of people they are, and it's also a good opportunity to like cause chaos and get people staying up late and angry and getting them in fights with other people. So I found out it's really beneficial. Stay up late, be one of the last ones to go to bed. You're always playing the game from the second the game starts, and that's a huge part of it is the downtime. So stay up as late as you can.
Are you going to actively try to get people to stay up?
um ugh, Probably not. Like if like someone's like, "Bye, I'm going to bed." I can't really be like, "That's not a good idea." You gotta let people live and do their thing. Because yeah, you can always accidentally step on toes. So you just gotta let people live and breathe. But I will like very carefully, subconsciously get people to want to be involved in something if we have something going on. Like, hey, we're all out in the backyard playing fucking can jam. How are you going to go to sleep right now? Like, that's just like a quick thing to just like maybe change their mind a little bit. So, yeah, can't be dragging people out of bed, but you can get inside their head to get them to be a part of things, especially if I can beat tired people the next day. So that'd be good.
What is your opinion on throwing a vote?
um, I'm not a big majority voter. So, like, if everything is going in one direction and I know that that's going to be the case, then I'll absolutely be the one to throw the vote. I would throw the vote on one of my allies if I knew the vote was going like hard in another direction. Um, Not afraid to just constantly cause that feeling of uncertainty leading into future rounds because then I can always use that to pin on someone. And depending on the situation, what kind of beef is going on with people at the time is a great way to advance your own personal game if you make a move like that at the right time. Throw a vote, fuck up somebody else's game. Best way to get another day.
What if the vote's on you?
Oof, if the vote is on me, then it is. Carefully make my way around and just kind of inquire about everybody's reasoning because what I've learned in these things is, you know, if the vote's on you, you never say it's okay. You never say I understand. You never say we'll figure it out next round. You never leave yourself as an option. So I'm never going to give permission for someone to vote for me. I'm never just going to allow that to happen. Depending on what kind of like twists there are this season, stuff like that. I'll still never make it okay to put your vote on me. And if I know that you have voted for me, then it's very clear who I get to go against in the upcoming round in the event that I survive. So I always wait for people to make that first shot early game. Then I know how to set myself up. But ideally, I just never let my name be said ever for as long as possible.
It's a good strategy. I want to give you a scenario here, Adam.
Sure.
So, congratulations, you just won the final three captain's competition, and you are now tasked with the opportunity to choose who you're going to go to the end with. And your options are number one, your number one ally in the game, but they're pretty even with you in terms of, winning, or somebody that you really, really did not like, but you could probably beat them a little bit easier. Who are you going to take?
Oof. All right. Well, I know myself. I always say I can beat anybody in a final speech. I don't care if you played a game that was 1,000 times better than me. You won every single competition this game. I will always out social you at the end of the game. It would really come down to how my number one was doing throughout the game. If they had like a really good social game, they got a lot of friends in the jury type shit. I would be cool with taking them to the end and also beating them. I would only like taking that easy route if I absolutely know I am going to lose to the other person. So it would really come down to the situation of who they were friends with and who the other person's friends with. Um, so given that the specific situation, I'm trying to win the game. So I'd cut my ally for that extra vote at the end, and I'd talk them into voting for me at the end, and I'd take the person I could beat easily.
Okay. What's your approach to powers? There's, hidden powers throughout the house. Are you going to be actively searching for them? What's the deal with powers for you?
Um, Absolutely. I am not a big find a power kind of a guy. Like I always find myself just fucking coming up short in situations like that. Know where the powers are. That's always my main goal. I'm always trying to, tell everybody at the beginning of the game, I'm not going for powers. I don't like having that target. You don't have to worry about me having a power. However, if I find one, I am not telling a single fucking soul about having a power unless it's like something where I'm like, it tells me to tell someone or whatever. Like you and a person get to have this thing, that kind of shit. But for the most part, find a power, keep it to yourself, and never spread that around, and then use it to your advantage when you absolutely can. But otherwise, I usually try to avoid that shit and just find it. I'm the first person to like start the hunt for like who's got the power so that we know where it is. But like not aggressively. It's just kind of like, hey, have you heard anything about powers and that kind of stuff? But you can bet your ass I'll be looking, and you can bet your ass I'm not fucking talking about it. So that's for sure.
What are you doing specifically to prepare for Ascendance Live?
Um, well, I purposely made sure I was playing a very large live game right before this game. So just played Mayhem, made it fourth out of 29 people. That was practice for Ascendance because this is the real game in my mind. I wanted to be able to put in a good showing in this game, and I haven't played in 3 years. I needed to get back on the field, practice, and see what I was capable of. I've been polishing up a social game for a really long time and failed a million times in orgs, but I'm so much better at executing my shit in person, but it only works once. So I have to be playing with people that don't really know how I play because my shit only works the first time and that's it. Other than that, I'm planning on binging. I'm re-binging the first season in the next week, and then I'm finally binging and finishing this most recent season, and then re-watching the most recent season. So that'll be 3 whole Ascendance watches for me before I go into this because I want to know exactly what to prepare for. Even if you guys got all brand new shit, I got to see how it all shook out, exactly every little thing, and take a bunch of fucking notes because I learned from my most recent loss in this game is you need to fucking study and you need to pay attention to absolutely everything when you play these things. So I want to see every mistake that everybody made who didn't end up winning the game. That is how I will prepare.
Sounds like a good plan. What's one thing that you're trying to accomplish with this experience?
Obviously, winning my first live game. I've had a long time coming. I got fucking, 22nd out of 24 in my first game. I got 5th out of 14 in my second game and 4th out of 29 in my third game. I want a fucking win. I deserve a win. I have all the tools inside of my body and brain to acquire a win. So I just need to put everything I've learned to the test and finally do it. I'm not here for exposure. I'm not here for the experience. I'm here to win the game, and that is it.
Well, Adam, is there anything else interesting that you want to tell me or the viewers before I conclude this interview?
Boy, anything interesting about me? I'm a big aliens guy. I like space. Obviously covered in tattoos, big tattoo person. However, a weird thing is like I actually don't like having conversations about tattoos. Usually people come up to me with like 1 or 2 tattoos and they're like, "Oh my God, I've thought about getting this whole thing." Like just go get it. Like I hate hearing about people's thoughts. I just want to I'll look at your awesome tattoos, but I don't want to hear about your thoughts. Just like go get them. All throughout my life, anytime I thought of something, I just got it tattooed on me. That's the kind of person I am. Yeah, like I said, I like hockey. I like aliens, all that kind of stuff. all those things sort of bounce me out and prepare me for this kind of shit. Been a big Brother fan for a long time, Survivor fan for a long time. Those kind of games have just given me that itch that I really need to scratch. And since I haven't gotten on an actual show, it's time to make it big on an internet show. So I'm super happy to come into this game and play the most intense game I've ever played. But when you look at me, you're not going to see me playing an intense game. You're just going to be like, oh, wow, what happened to Adam? What's Adam doing? Like, what's Adam thinking? Because everybody else is going to be talking about somebody else. I will never give anybody permission to vote for me. I will never uh, throw a competition. I will never do any of those things that people commonly make mistakes doing. So I think I've perfected a lot of the fucking things that I have fucked up in the past. And this is for the big win. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to not be the first boot. I'm not trying to get on the jury, beat one of my friends' placement from a past season. The only goal is to win. And that's the only thing I'm keeping in my head going into this thing because I need a W and I deserve it. And I'm sorry to everybody else in the cast, but it's going to be me.
Well, Adam, I am excited to watch you get your first W and, fuck off everybody else in the cast.
I mean, I'm sure
And
they're all really great people. I'm going to make a million friends and all that stuff. But just so everybody knows, for anybody who ever watches this, I was playing to fucking win, and I'm playing to fucking win.
I can't wait to see, what you got and how it turns out for you. So good luck, Adam, and I appreciate you doing the interview, man.
Cool, brother. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it too.